Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Raheem the Dream.
With your boy, J Mac Mizane.
J Mac, man, what is going down in Chinatown?
Not a thing.
Yeah, man. This whole NXT takeover, man. War Games was a movie, man. War Games was a movie, man. Can't even lie to you, man. I was hooked. I was hooked. It was a great pay-per-view, man. Definitely one of the best pay-per-views of this year. NXT has been putting on some great matches, great pay-per-views, and I tell you, man, this is definitely one of my favorites. Definitely.
Yeah, agreed. And going into it, we talked yesterday. I wasn't really big on the Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Loomis match, nor was I interested in Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. But
yeah,
they both put on good matches. So I ended up watching it, and I was entertained through both matches, which was a shocker. So kudos to those four. Outside of everybody else who, met or exceeded expectations.
Absolutely. Let's talk about exceeding expectations. Three matches really stand out to me. The women's match, number one. I'm sorry, number three. Number two, the triple threat match, Johnny Gargano, Leon Ruff, and Damian Priest. And of course, the main event, which was an absolute showstopper, the Undisputed Era versus Pat McAfee.
Right, Team McAfee.
Team McAfee. We got a visitor. I believe this is Sean Keys. Both matches great. Thank you for joining us. Leon Ruff impressed the F out of me. Absolutely. Leon Ruff, man. Leon Ruff. Yes, he is. He was last night's MVP. Yes, he was, man. Oh, man. Leon Ruff was doing his thing, man. For real. Absolutely. He was. I thought he was going to retain the title, though. I thought he was going to retain. I thought he was going to retain, but he didn't retain. I'm not sad with the title change, but I definitely want to see more of Leon Ruff, though. That was an impressive match. Absolutely.
Yeah, Leon. I really did think the same thing. I thought Leon was going to end up walking away with the belt. But yeah, he definitely impressed me. Especially with that raised ass through the barricade. I'm like, oh, he's dead. And he came.
Damian Priest was just like tossing around like a little kid, man. He was just like, get out of here.
He weighs maybe like what 120 pounds soaking wet. So it's like
yeah, man. I was like, yo, who little nephew from the projects is this, man? Coming into the bad knee pads on, the elbow pads on, man. I'm like, get out of here, man. But Leon did his thing, man. I ain't gonna hate, man. Leon did his thing, man. He got in there. He was hitting some great spots in that match, yo. Especially when he caught him with the what's the name of that move, man? It's a
he did a twisting RKO.
The twisting RKO was dope. That was dope. That was a fire spot. And then there was another spot where he catch you with. It's not the schoolboy. It's where you grab them from their back arm.
Oh,
I'm sorry. From the left arm. What's the name of that?
It's crucifix.
Crucifix. There we go. The crucifix pin. The way he landed it. Oh my God, man! I was like, yo, this dude Leon Ruff, man. If you guys have not seen NXT War Games, please. That is a must-watch wrestling event you have to go see. Recommend it. Definitely recommend it. You guys are joining us. Please share, like, and subscribe. Comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are about NXT War Games. It was a great pay-per-view. Excellent. I think I might go watch it again. I think I'm going to watch it again probably tomorrow or tonight. Because I gotta watch it. Because after we do this, we gotta jump into Raw. We're gonna watch Raw, but
right.
I gotta watch it again, man. Yo, War Games was a movie, man. I can't even front. And then the way Undisputed Era came out with their new attire, that was dope, man. They had me. I was like, okay. All right. They got the black and red.
My squad.
I was like, this is fire, man. They came in looking spiffy, ready to go. Kyle O'Reilly.
Telling you. Second favorite member in that group.
Yeah. Kyle O'Reilly. Oh man, Kyle O'Reilly. Yes, he fought like a warrior. Him and Pete Dunne. Yes.
I've always loved Pete Dunne.
Oh yeah.
Ever since I didn't see the first match that he had, but what made me a fan was the second match he had with Tyler Bate when he ended up winning the UK Championship.
Yeah.
That match, from that match on, I was like, yo, I'm a fan. I'm gonna start watching him, and he's been having great. And his joint manipulation. I mean, he right now he's a heel, so it's kind of like, they don't really emphasize as much. But if you go back to the stuff when he, even though the Tyler Bate match, you can look at matches that he had with him, Ricochet, and Adam Cole, him. A bunch of matches he had, him and Ricochet one-on-one, him and all his matches, like, it's just on point. Like, he's just
he definitely
he's one of those.
Yeah, he definitely held it down. Oh man, he held it down for the group, man. That was dope, man. That was absolutely dope. It was a great match, man. That match all together, the spots, the setups, how they played everything in together. Even Pat McAfee, trolling the Undisputed Era with the tables when he came out had their names. I was like, look at this guy. Oh man. I was like, look at this guy, man. Pulls out the tables, sets them up. And they all went through the tables, mind you. They all went through the tables. That was great. Shotzi,
one part of that match that I thought about, and it made me think of you, and I was going to text you last night. So we were talking about the Miz yesterday, and you was like, he don't take no risks. Pat McAfee in his 2 matches took more risks than Miz took his entire career. He did that swanton off the
cage.
I was like, yo, what the hell?
That was a great spot. I was like, okay, swanton bomb off the cage. Yes.
Yeah, that called me.
Pat McAfee's ex-NFL player, right?
Yeah, he was a punter for NFL, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, yo, go for yours, man. Go for yours, man.
Okay. Second match.
Word. Yo, man, yes, Ethan Wick, absolutely, man. War Games was fire, yeah, man. That Swanton bomb official, man. Let's talk about Shotzi Blackheart, right? Mm-hmm. With the blindfolded garbage can, jump off of the top rope. On the cage?
Yeah, it was on top of the cage.
On top of the cage, right? Yeah. With the garbage can on top of it, covering her whole body, jumping into the crowd of women. With the garbage can. Oh man. I was like, okay. Man. Man. Yeah, she did her thing, man.
But it's funny because later on in the match, Dakota Kai made her pay for it, and he caught her with the coup de grace of the time where why she had the garbage can, and she couldn't even get out the garbage can.
She was stuck in it. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Oh man,
Captain lost though. That was interesting. That was shocking to me because EO definitely had the better team. I mean, not EO. Shotzi Blackheart definitely had the better team.
Yeah.
So that was
weird. What's the tall girl? Not Rhea, but the other girl, the new one, huh?
Raquel Gonzalez.
What's her name again?
Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah. So she came. She was like dominating Shotzi Blackheart. And what's the other girl?
Ember.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
Ember Moon.
Yeah, Ember Moon. Yeah, she was dominating those two. So I mean, she was doing. They were trying their best, but she was holding her own. She was holding her own, man.
Yeah, she definitely was.
She was holding her own, man. This is my cat. She want to be in the video. Come on, you gotta get out. Yeah, but this was definitely a great pay per view. I loved it all the way through. Um, I didn't watch. I actually watched the main matches. To be honest, watched the main matches. I watched. I didn't watch the Timothy Thatcher match, and I didn't watch the Dexter Lumis match and Cameron Grimes. Didn't watch those two matches. I'm gonna go back and watch those two. I just watched the three. I watched those three main matches because my eyes. I wanted to see those matches. I wanted to see the women's War Games because I liked the last one that I've seen. It was dope, and I liked the last War Games, last year's War Games. I enjoyed it. So I watched those two matches before, and I watched the whole pay per view before. But I just watched. I wanted to see what happened with Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano is the new North American NXT champion, three times the charm. Johnny Gargano beats Damian Priest and Leon Ruff for the NXT North American Championship.
Yeah, the Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher match, it was more of a grind, because Timothy Thatcher is more of a grinder, catch can kind of wrestler. So it was more, holds and, it was kind of like, if you're not, I mean, it was a decent match, don't get me wrong, but it was more of a slow grind, wrist lock, headlock,
old school.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, old school kind of a match. Yeah.
And Ciampa, try to speed up a little bit, but.
So how was the match between Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis?
It was pretty good. Like I said, it was Cameron Grimes, him trying to be sneaky and trying to just trying to get an advantage, but then once he finally put the strap on, once Dexter Lumis finally put the strap on, they kind of it was good. It was back and forth, and like a typical strap match, you try to go so far, they yank you back, so you don't go nowhere. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So definitely. I watched all the hot points pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the other two matches were good, but they weren't the showcase matches.
Yeah. So, let's rate it real quick. So, 1 out of 5. How would you rate NXT War Games?
I give it a 5. To me,
5. I give it a 5. That main event was it. That main event was it's just those three matches right there, man. Like on the money. Didn't let you down. There was no dry spots at all. There was no dry spots. You were able to follow through every match. The action kept you in tune, kept you watching. It just kept you captivated. I can't put it in any other words other than it was just an excellent pay-per-view. Leon Ruff definitely was the MVP of the night. To me, it's between
over Pat McAfee.
Over Pat. I gotta give Pat McAfee his due for doing that swanton bomb off the cage, but that's all he really had because he was getting beat up most of the match. He didn't really do too much, but Leon Ruff,
Yeah, Leon did steal it. I'm not gonna fight. Yeah, Leon Ruff did steal it.
Twisting RKO, freaking, crucifix bomb pin. I mean, come on, man. It's just like, he has some great spots. He did very well. I even like even in the corner when they who was it? I think Gargano tried to trap. No, I think it was it Priest or Gargano? They had him in the corner, and the way he was when Gargano and Priest tried to come at him, and the way he was maneuvering in the corner, and how he slipped out of it, like in the beginning of the match, how he slipped out of it. It was just dope. Like his maneuvering in that match was excellent. It was on point. Leon Ruff, yeah, man, I gotta give it to you, bro. Like you did your thing, man. You got me. I was very impressed. Very, very impressed. Excellent, man. All right. So anything else you want to touch on concerning War Games? Oh yes, but I guess we'll talk. Well, Karrion Cross is apparently making his return.
Right. Yeah.
We don't know when, but sometime soon. Anthony Cobbs has joined us. What's up, Ant?
What's
Thank
going
you for
on?
joining us. What's up, guys? War Games was great. I think the triple threat match stole the show. Okay, okay, okay.
I don't know if it was in that War Games match though. I don't know. That men's War
Yeah,
Games match was.
yeah. For me, yeah. I definitely have to. I definitely have to go with the men's match. I definitely have to go with the men's match. But I can dig it though. I can dig it. Anthony Cobbs and the return of Austin Theory. How many chances does this guy get yet?
I agree.
Right there.
It's like they keep repackaging him, trying to put him in the right situation. But yeah, and it's funny that I was reading a post earlier. I was telling Sai about that. Johnny Gargano named him his adopted son, so that's kind of funny.
Oh man, he's. I mean, but Austin Theory needs the rub. I mean, especially with what happened in the past concerning him. So he needs the rub. He's trying to Triple H is trying to make things right with some of his wrestlers, trying to give them extra chances. People make mistakes. We all make mistakes in life, and I just think that it's human nature that we do make mistakes, and everybody should be given a second chance to kind of try to turn over a new leaf, do other things, try to show that they're more than just that mistake, you know. So I definitely give kudos to Triple H. Now, if this person has a repetitive, problem where they constantly do it all the time and they have an issue, then I think then they probably need to draw some space between them and that person. Um, Anthony Cobb says, I've never seen one guy get repackaged so many times since Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas.
Well, Los Matadores, I can throw their name in the hat too.
Who's that?
I forgot who was Carlito's cousins, Primo Epico. There you go. They were repackaged so many times.
So many times. They even wore masks at one point. But not for nothing. That Shining Star finish was crazy. It was dope. That finish was dope.
Yeah.
That finish is dope. You ever use it in 2K?
No, I never used it.
You gotta look at if you look at it in 2K, it's fire. That's one of the best finishes ever. It's crazy. It's the way they maneuver it. Yeah.
I gotta check it out now.
It's called the Shining Star. It's dope. But yeah, man, they got repackaged a whole bunch of times, man. But Austin, they're really trying to work with him. They're really trying to work with him. You know what I'm saying?
From what everybody's saying, he's like the next big thing, or he's just the biggest star as Cena and things like that. I personally haven't seen it, so I'm kind of like, all right, well, when are we gonna see this?
Are they saying like he to be the next big star like Cena?
Yeah, from people I've talked to, that they like, Austin Theory is the man. Like, he's gonna be the next big thing, and I'm like, I don't know.
Anthony Cobbs has a question. Maybe you can answer it, Jay, because I'm not sure about this. Is the rumor true that WWE is bringing back Gunner?
Gunner's probably gonna get the axe. He's probably gonna be the one released. But we did see Riker and the other guy, I forgot his name. The one that was with I can't think of his name. But yeah, they were actually the two guys that was with Baron Corbin on Friday to fight the Mysterios. I can't think of his name, but he, the one of the guys who used to be tag champs with Murphy in NXT with when they was with Alexa Bliss. I can't think of his name. I don't know why. I apologize, but yeah, he. Oh, I need to confirm this, but yeah, he definitely was.
So after those Trump comments, so Austin Theory made some Trump comments.
No, not Austin Theory. Was it Jackson Riker? No, Gunner. He made
from the
that group.
right. Yeah. The group they just like completely took off of TV. Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah. Gunner. I know you're talking about right after those.
Jackson,
Right.
Jackson Riker. Yeah, he's probably going to be the one that's going. But Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. They were on. They were the two guys that was with Baron Corbin. I'm sorry, King Corbin on SmackDown. But Riker's probably gonna get released.
Anthony Cobb says comparing Austin Theory to John Cena is ridiculous. John Cena, as much as old school Attitude Era fans hate him, is a workhorse, and Austin Theory and ring skills are nowhere close to John Cena. So so Austin Theory is like, so what was he like, an indie darling?
I don't know. Like, I mean, for me personally, he has not impressed me at all. Like, I've watched it. I mean, I watched some of his matches, and he doesn't stand out to me. I don't know why, but he just doesn't stand out or resonate to me at all.
What about on the mic?
I mean, I don't really pay attention to him on the mic, which is, I apologize, but yeah, I don't. I mean, so I guess that would be a no. But but yeah, like I said, everybody says his potential is, he could be like start a company as Cena, and so like I said, I personally don't. He's not one of my favorites, and not one of my tops, because I'm trying to figure out how he went from NXT and he got called to the main roster working with Andrade and Angel Garza and Zelina Vega. Then we know why he got dropped back down, because of the Speak Up movement. Then he went back. It couldn't do nothing, so he was quiet, and now they're trying to pair him with Gargano, I guess, to try to make him relevant. So I mean, they're trying things. I guess after a while, if it doesn't work after a certain amount of time, they're gonna say, you know what, we give up.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, well, because I mean, I heard of Austin Theory. I keep hearing.
Yeah, like I say he didn't really resonate with me too much. So I
right, because when he worked with when he came in and worked with Seth, like he just came in and we didn't see him, we didn't get to hear him do anything. I think he wrestled a match and that was it. It was like, okay. But that's crazy. He was compared to Cena. Like I'm an ex-Cena fan. I'm an
ex-Cena. That's what they're saying. Like, not right now at this stage in his career, but they say he could be potentially the next Cena. I forgot who I was talking to who said this comment.
Wow, that's a big claim. I mean, and then you get compared to Cena. Why would you want to get compared to Cena? But
I guess it's the face of the company kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, because Cena's like the next big. He was like the last big star after like Austin and The Rock. So that's a pretty big claim. It is. Ethan definitely agrees. He says that's a big reach. It is. It's a big reach.
I agree. I mean, he hasn't done nothing for me to sit there and be like, yo, this guy's gonna do it. He gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Like I see other guys when they wrestle. You see other guys that's like, yo, that guy might be alright. Like, and I can, off the top of my head, watching Aleister Black at first, I'm like, okay, this guy, has potential. Velveteen Dream. There's a lot of guys that hasn't had like that top talent,
right?
That you can be like, yo, like, you know what, but but like Austin Theory hasn't done that for me yet.
There's a handful of guys in wrestling right now in WWE that I can say has that John Cena potential because of their in-ring ability. In-ring ability. One, they can surpass John Cena, but then not only that, but because of their mic skills, they can surpass Cena. Anthony Cobb says that's like saying Adam Cole is going to be better than Shawn Michaels. That's definitely like a hard task to pull off. But there's only certain people I look at and say these guys have potential to be as big as Cena, and that's because their ability and their shock value on the mic and what they've done in promos that was just like, yo, this guy has something special, and that's Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and what's the other person? That's the only three people I can say that I've seen like have done like some like whoa like things, and and I can like name them. What's you guys' thoughts on Timothy Thatcher? What do you think about Timothy Thatcher, Jay?
I don't know. Like I just feel weird about wrestlers with boots and no knee pads. It kind of nah, I don't know. Like
I feel the same way too, man. I'm like, yo, put on some damn knee pads, bro. You out there scraping up your knees. You're gonna need some lotion for them knees, bro. Like, and it just looks weird. Like,
yeah.
bro, put on some knee pads. It takes away from, because again, like we spoke before about this. Like one of the things that adds to a character's appearance is his in-ring attire. Like that's one of the things that kind of threw me off and kind of threw you off too with Keith Lee. Like when he went up to the main roster, I was like, yo, what's going on with his in-ring attire? Like it kind of throws you off because, truth be told, real quick, I'm sorry, Jay, I'm going to cut you off, but real quick, like if you look at Shawn Michaels, and I think he's one of the best examples. If you look at Shawn Michaels and you look at how he started off with his in-ring attire from the Rockers to going solo, and then how he would tape up his hand, and then he would wear like the black biker glove, and he had the tights, and then you've seen how he perfected his attire before his first retirement, where he just made it a full glove, and then he came out with the with the extra stuff on, but then he had the tights, and then he had the pad, and you've seen the perfection of his attire when he fought Bret Hart at WrestleMania. It was like he perfected his attire. He chose the right boots, the O'Neal boots, and then he changed them, and then he had the same O'Neal boots, but he had the hearts on it. You can see how he perfected his attire, and it just added more appeal to how he looked, even to how he wrestled, that his in-ring attire just made his in-ring ability look better. It just brought more appeal. So when wrestlers don't wear like knee pads, it's just be like, yo, like, bro, like, where's the knee pad? It just looks weird. I'm sorry, real quick, Jay. Anthony Cobbs, I thought he was from Europe. A lot of Europeans wear ring attire like that. I'm sorry, Jay. What did you want to say?
Yeah, so now to reference Keith Lee, yeah, we did notice the difference in his attire because he, but he did state that he is going to go back to wearing no shirt, and his ring is going to go back. It's just, it's going to eventually happen. He said when coming from main roster, they told him to, wear that. So, he really didn't have no say, but he's going to go back to wearing no shirt at some point. But to answer your question, Anthony, like as far as the ring gear, I was joking, but I don't know, like Timothy, he's one of those grinded out, like I think his overall look, it doesn't really, captivate me like that, because he looks like he could be a mechanic, and and you just got into an argument because he overcharged you for, your alternator. So now you want to fight him. So he looks, so he has that rough, rugged, grinded out. I'm gonna just put you in a headlock and like put extra grind on it. On the headlock while I rub your nose the wrong way. While I to petite like fish bone your jaw. So he has that rough, rugged kind of style. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it, but like I said, I'm gonna be more open to him, and I'm gonna try to give him a chance. That was the same way with Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis is still growing on me a little bit. It's hard for me to really watch his matches like that, but he's more so kind of growing on me. So I mean, I guess the more we see of Timothy, I guess I feel the same way. But as of right now, at this moment with Timothy, I feel he's okay, but it's just from me personally, it's hard for me to watch and gravitate towards him.
My thing about Timothy Thatcher is what's cool about him is he has like an old school look. what what bothers me is that his in-ring ability is cool, but it's very old school. And if see like that's what I like about Cesaro. Cesaro has an old school style. However, he does a lot of high flying, which doesn't make it seem dry. So it takes the dryness out of the grapples and the holds and the, you know what I'm saying? Because we like the Bret Harts, we like the Chris Benoit, we like the Mr. Perfects, because of Daniel Bryan, and the thing about them is that they added certain types of maneuvers into the in-ring fights so that it won't feel dry. Like they're not boring you to death with a whole bunch of headlocks and leg grabs and flips. But we know like the beauty in those kind of wrestlers is the constant reversal to a leg lock, or reversal to a back body drop, a reversal to a suplex, and then like those different types of small reversals that they always do, which is cool. The technical wrestlers, which I love. But Timothy Thatcher, he's very dry. Like, it's not dry, it's just he has a very rugged style, but Cesaro has a rugged style, but Cesaro adds more flavor to it. So with Timothy Thatcher, I need more time with him. I need to see a little bit more Timothy Thatcher, in my opinion. Like I understand where they're going with his character, but I just need to see a little bit more. See how he kind of like perfects his in-ring maneuvering. I think he's pretty good on the mic. He's good at cutting promos. He knows his character. He knows what he wants to do. But that's just my take on him.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot what I was reading, but they compared him to like his ring style to like a Dean Malenko, like a real slow, methodical, grinded out, kind of match. So,
Anthony Cobbs, whatever happened to the Samoan-looking kid from NXT, Bronson Reed? Oh, yeah, he like disappeared, man. I don't know, but he may be showing up. I don't know anything as far as what's going on. I know he's still in development, so they haven't said anything about his release so far. So he's still there.
He's still there. The last time they really did anything with him was, when he was in that tournament to crown the new NXT champion, which Finn Balor ended up winning.
Right.
That's the last we heard of him. But as of late, everything was to build towards War Games and giving Pat McAfee his little segments every week. But now that War Games is over, we may see them trying to find something to do with Bronson Reed or whatever. So and they announced New Year's Evil on January 6th, which is interesting. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen with that. But yeah, as of right now, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't know. He's still there. Trust me. I guess they're just waiting for a storyline or the perfect reason to use him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. And the other person I named, in that pool of people I named that had the potential to be as big as Cena, Velveteen Dream. He's another one. And Finn Balor. And Finn. I still say Finn. Yeah, Finn. Yeah, Finn. Yeah. But those are the people I put in that pool of, these guys have potential to be as big as Cena. Because there's not a lot of people. Anthony Cobbs, haven't seen him since TakeOver XXX.
Yeah, no, he had a match, the what you call it match, and with the NXT Championship.
Anthony Cobbs has another question. What do you guys think is next for Undisputed Era? Another sweep on NXT Gold or main roster runs? Yeah, man, that's a great question. I was watching it, and I'm gonna tell you what I was sensing from War Games. Undisputed Era is Triple H's crown jewel right now, and Triple H and William Regal, I'm noticing like with Amber Moon coming back down to the main roster, coming back down to the NXT roster, Rhea Ripley not going up, not ascending to the main roster, Triple H is holding on to his jewels right now. And, Rhea Ripley's a jewel, Amber Moon is a jewel, Finn is a jewel, Undisputed Era is a jewel, Gargano, Ciampa, Priest, and these guys are putting on these excellent matches. And Triple H does not want them to go up to the main roster without them. I feel like they don't want them to go up to the main roster without them having some kind of legit agreement on how they're going to be properly handled. And I'm not, I know, and I'm saying this because, like, I read rumors about Triple H and Vince McMahon being at odds about certain main events, like even Roman Reigns fighting Brock Lesnar, where Vince McMahon wanted The Rock to fight Brock Lesnar. He was trying to get The Rock to come in and fight. And Triple H was like, no, it should be Roman because Rock is part-time, Triple H is Roman is main roster and so forth. So, it's like we should invest in people who are going to be here for the long haul, not who are just going to be here, part-time to just help boost ratings. You know what I'm saying? Let them come in when we really need them, not when we don't really need them, So I think that Triple H is going to hold on to Undisputed Era until he feels the right time, because look at what happened with Eric Young and his group, Sanity. It's like when they got up there, they were in NXT, they were dope. When they got up to the main roster, they were straight jobbers, barely, wrestled any matches. And then Eric Young was wrestling matches on his own, and then all of a sudden, poof, they're gone. You know what I mean? Same thing with Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode was like the John Cena of TNA, right? And they really pushed him hard because they really wanted Bobby Roode to be that guy. And Bobby Roode has that potential to be a real top guy. And he goes over to NXT. Triple H sees it. We see it. I think Bobby Roode is phenomenal. I think he's great. He has the look. He's an in-ring ability. He has the mic skills. But when he goes up to the main roster, now he's paired with Dolph Ziggler, and they're being treated like jobbers. You know what I'm saying? Almost borderline jobbers. You know what I'm saying? So I think he may give them another gold sweep, to keep adding to their credibility, because he gave Johnny Gargano, a third title run. So he may give them another gold sweep, but they're very hot right now, and anything's possible. Anthony Cobbs, I would like to see a feud between Cole and O'Reilly.
That would be cool. So my thoughts real quick on what I think is next for Undisputed Era. I feel like you said, Triple H does have his gems, and his and Bobby Roode, right, was one of those gems. And and he sees how Bobby Roode is being mistreated on the main roster. And even John Morrison, even though Morrison isn't one of Triple H's jewels, but he see how much potential and talent that John Morrison has, and Morrison is being used as a complete jobber. So he's like, if I send Undisputed Era up there, yeah, the main roster need a jolt of energy. They need a jolt of a fresh face, but that may last 4 months, 5 months, because after that, they're gonna go down, and Vince is just gonna put them on the back burner. And Triple H doesn't want to do that, because Triple H can make he can make pretty much anybody a star that he wants. But he said himself in an interview that Undisputed Era reminds him of DX.
Right. He said that recently. Yeah.
Right. Where Undisputed Era, they can cut promos, and they can just they can be sitting at a dinner table having dinner, and you put a camera there, and everybody's like, I want to be part of that group. So at the end of the day, I don't think Triple H wants to release them to the main roster, because they're gonna get lost in the shuffle, and and he wants to try to keep some kind of nostalgia to the NXT brand, and so and just have NXT have some kind of star power. As far as another title run, I think that'll be moving backwards for them personally. Because like I said, with Gargano, okay, cool, because him they try him and Candice LeRae trying to be the power couple, the first women to husband and wife to have NXT championship at the same time. They're not going to have him take the belt from Finn. So as far as the heavyweight title picture, that's kind of like far away. So they want to add some kind of star power to the North American Championship. That's why I see them giving it to him. But as far as Undisputed Era, like I said, they go back to get the tag titles and Adam Cole gets heavyweight championship again. This is going to be moving backwards. I feel like right now the heavyweight title picture is going to be between Finn and Karrion Kross, and and the NXT tag team championship is going to be with either the Grizzled Young Veterans or Imperium or something like that. I mean, I can see Undisputed. I mean, I can sort of see them taking the belts back from Oney Lorcan and Tony Birch, but again, I feel like if they have another gold sweep, it'll just be moved backwards to me.
All right, we got 3 more comments in the comment section. Anthony Cobbs, Bobby Roode really needs James Storm. I would like to see a beer money run in WWE. They were actually talking about that. There was rumors about James Storm possibly returning to do some work to help develop some talent. I don't know how far in the works that is, if it's going to actually happen. Ethan Wick says, don't say the word jobber. Anthony Cobbs asks another question. He says, does Triple H have any control on the main roster? Like, does he have any decision making?
No, because everything on the main roster goes through Vince. So I think the only person that had as much influence on the main roster was Pat Patterson. But as far as the main roster, no, I think everything goes through Vince. And that's why Vince offered Triple H and Stephanie the opportunity to run Raw. And they declined because they know everything has to go through Vince. And from the reports, like I said, we personally don't know Vince personally, and we don't know how it is. But from the rumors and the reports that's going around, is you come up with a great idea, you come up with the whole story, you come up with the whole game plan of what you're going to do for Raw or in SmackDown. You present it to Vince, and Vince's like, I don't like it, do it over. You know what I'm saying? And that can get frustrating. So,
yeah.
So that's why I don't believe Triple H have control over the main roster. Like I said, NXT is his darling. He can do what he wants with it. It's his creative control, his mind. But as far as the main roster, I don't think he has any control on what goes on there. Because trust me, I feel like if he did, Bobby Roode wouldn't be getting the treatment he's getting. Shinsuke wouldn't be getting the treatment he's getting. Ricochet definitely wouldn't be getting the treatment he's getting. So a lot of NXT stars that went up to the main roster, they would definitely be treated different. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but the ones who really made a big impact on NXT would have a little bit more, say so on the main roster if Triple H had his way.
Yeah, you know what? I just want to add to what you're saying, because Triple H has influence, but he doesn't have say. And you're right. Everything goes through Vince, and you're right, because let's take for example, when we look at NXT, you see how he moves the pieces, how he moves each character. It's like the beauty of NXT is you could be a nobody and shine like a star and get noticed.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have a world title, but your potential, your skill set, everything you're able to do, your capacity, your abilities show in the ring. When you look at Raw and SmackDown, there's only few that shine, that get high spots, and it's ran a certain way. Like the programming is ran to be, a little bit more slow paced. NXT is ran at a faster pace. And if we were to switch, if we were to say, okay, NXT is the number one show, Raw is the secondary show, and SmackDown's development, I think the ratings will go straight through the roof. I think the ratings will go back to the way they were in the 90s and early 2000s. But you can tell even just how NXT is being treated versus to how Raw and SmackDown is being treated. Like Triple H has some influence, but he doesn't have a say. And the reason why I say influence is because a lot of his good main guys who've held world titles or held North American titles or just were great characters got called up to the main roster because of of his conversation with Vince, or just Vince coming down and Vince looking at the programming and saying, okay, I want to get Matt Riddle, or I want to pull Shinsuke, or I want to pull Samoa Joe. You know what I'm saying? But decision making, no, because again, the reason, okay, I say this, and I say this to add to what Jay was saying. When Roman Reigns fought Brock Lesnar at the first time at WrestleMania, it was supposed to be The Rock. But the only reason why it was not The Rock was because The Rock declined. But that's the whole gist of that situation. Because Triple H, like the rumor was, they got into like an argument backstage, like they were just going back and forth, like yo. And Triple H is like, yo, Vince, don't do this. Like we need, like you should book Roman. And Vince just seen The Rock versus Brock at WrestleMania. That's money. You had the movie star versus the former UFC fighter, now returned WWE star, going one-on-one at WrestleMania, the biggest show. And of course, that says dollar signs. But once the match is over, and if The Rock is hurt, then The Rock might get sued in his movie contracts. But all that stuff behind the scenes. But yeah, just to add to what Jay was saying, yeah, like so those are like some of the things like concerning like Triple H. Yeah, let's get into some news and rumors, shall we? News and rumors. News and rumors. Okay. So, as you guys see, well, I'll say that for last so we can talk about that because I think that's going to be a bigger conversation. Jay McMahon, Braun Strowman.
Yes. So, for those of you that don't know, the whole segment after Survivor Series where Braun attacked, I forgot the official's name. Initially, Braun Strowman was supposed to be the one fighting Drew McIntyre at TLC. That's what WWE was building towards. That was the plan. Braun ended up getting hurt. So with him getting hurt, that's how they went on the suspension angle, which is the reason why we see AJ Styles being the one fighting fighting Drew McIntyre at TLC instead of Braun Strowman. But Braun was the initial pick on who WWE wanted to go into TLC to fight Drew.
I'm glad he did get injured, not in a bad way, not like, I'm glad, but I'm just I'm glad that he got injured in the sense that I don't want Drew McIntyre to go over on Braun.
Man.
I just don't want. I want them to preserve this new reformed character and keep him as strong as possible. Anthony Cobb says, I knew it. They only do angles like that when a wrestler is going to get surgery and going to be out for a while. Yeah.
Right. And speaking of that, Anthony, I'm shocked that they didn't do that with Seth Rollins because with Seth Rollins, going out, I thought they were going to kind of try to injure, but I guess since he's more so a heel, it doesn't, it wouldn't make sense. But I thought they would have done that with him as well.
Anthony Cobbs also says, but things happen for a reason, because who wanted to see that at TLC?
I definitely didn't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't want to see Braun versus McIntyre. I don't know if you're a fan, Anthony, of Drew McIntyre. I like Drew, but I feel like Drew has won out his welcome as WWE champion right now. For right now, I would like to see him again be champion. I'm not saying I don't want Drew ever to be champion. I just think right now he needs some refining again. I feel like them giving him the kilt and the He-Man sword. He got the Green Ranger sword, the Green Ranger power sword. I'm like, bro, like what's going on, man? But when they gave him all that, I'm like, oh man, I'm like, yo, he was fine with the long leather jacket and the black his attire, his regular attire. Why do they do all that extra stuff? You know, so
and for nothing, I hate the Scottish Warrior. That is the dumbest name. He's a Scottish psychopath. I don't care if he's a babyface. He's a Scottish psychopath. This Scottish Warrior is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. It gets annoying every time I hear him say it.
Yeah. Anthony Kyle says, I'm not a fan of Drew, especially this new gimmick. And Anthony Kyle says, I like him better as a heel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's really panning out better. You're right, Ant, because it's really panning out better for him as a heel because of the factor of, just the whole, like Jay was saying, the whole Scottish psychopath is like once he turned face, now it's like, oh, we got to refine your image. You can't be the psychopath because now you got to be family friendly. Who wants to cheer for a psychopath? I do. I want to cheer for this psychopath. Because he's only a psychopath for those who gets in his way of, his goals. So, I mean, he has an actual vision in mind. Anthony Kyle says that run he had with Dolph was great. It was a great run. It was absolutely great. They were actually great together. Absolutely. But yeah, Drew Waters, welcome. Moving forward. This WWE feud is receiving backstage praise. So apparently, the Roman Reigns feud with Kevin Owens has been receiving a lot of backstage praise from Vince and some of the officials, and they're really liking this feud. So what that could mean is that this feud may last up until Mania. See, like I was saying before, like one of the guys I feel like really fits in that equation of being a possible next Cena is Kevin Owens. And I'll never forget his first confrontation with John Cena. That would always be one of the most memorable moments because when he came in with that NXT title and he popped up and he cut an excellent promo against Cena and he caught him with the pop-up powerbomb and he takes his United States title and he looks at it like he's about to hold it up. He takes it, throws it on the floor, steps on it, and then raises the NXT title. Like that was just like, oh my God, like that was just like on the money. It was beautiful. So, it's the way Kevin Owens is able to, bring something fresh and new ideas to his gimmicks, in these promos and so forth. Especially the whole situation we're seeing. Anthony Cobbs, good. I'm liking it. Keep it going past Mania. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, him and Roman can do something great. But Kevin has always been great opposition. Always been great opposition. You always had, entertaining feuds. But Kevin Owens is entertaining. Kevin Owens will never let you down on the mic and in the ring. He always give you something great. And to me, I feel like he's one of those guys who deserve another title run, and they need to really be behind him. The only thing about his Universal title run was they didn't need to be so opinionated about how he carried his character. Kevin Owens needs to just be Kevin, but give Kevin those same challenges as if he has the title, but he's because when he's going after the title, you get a better Kevin. When he had the Universal title, Jericho outshined him. So they just need to keep him in that same energy where he's going after the title but has the title, and I think his character would just go straight to the moon. I think Kevin Owens is second coming of Chris Jericho. Really? Okay. Interesting. I don't know, Anthony, because when he stood next to Jericho outshined him. It was to the point where Jericho was like, yo, I think Jericho should have this belt. It was bananas, man. I was like, that Jericho and Kevin Owens thing together, man, made me say like, yo, Jericho need that belt. Just better mic skills. Where do you think Kevin Owens got better mic skills than Jericho? You know what? I say this. I say this. I agree with you on the fact that Kevin Owens, he delivers more consistently than Jericho. Jericho has great moments, but Jericho has great mic skills, but Kevin Owens delivers more consistently. Uh, I think that Kevin Owens now with Jericho we would definitely see in comparison who would be better. But right now, I definitely agree with you. I would have to agree with you with Owens. But however, as history has shown, when Kevin Owens and Jericho was together as a group, Kevin Owens had the Universal title, and you were forgetting about Kevin Owens and looking at Jericho, and he had no belt, and it was so great. His character was so great. They just put the United States title on him just to put a title on him because how great he was. You know, he had the list, and he came up with it like a great. He had the list. He came up with the list idea. I mean, Jericho was on fire at that moment.
I'm so mad I didn't buy that. You made the list clipboard. I was gonna buy it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait. And then Jericho got released. They took it off WWE shop, and I'm so mad I can't find it now.
Yeah. Anthony Cobb says, I wanted to be put on the list so bad. You just made the list, but that was a great angle. But yeah, so hopefully Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns runs this feud past Mania, and hopefully that might be his opponent. I want to see what's going to happen with Jay. I like Jay. I like what's happening with Jay. I just want to see how Jay blossoms out of this whole feud with him and Roman. That's what I'm really looking at. But if Roman and Kevin kind of go at it, then cool. I'm cool with that. Some more news. So I mean, they really like just crapping on Tessa Blanchard. So an update on Tessa Blanchard's status involving AEW. So this is not WWE related. I seen this article, thought it was a great article, thought you guys might be interested in knowing about what's happening with Tessa Blanchard because of her high profile in in Impact Wrestling, and how she was getting a lot of, how she was getting this push as being the first, how she was getting this push. I'm sorry. Let me go to Anthony. Chanel joins us. We have a special guest, Chanel. Chanel says Jay needs to pimp slap Roman. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I want to see how Jay gets back at Roman for this whole chair situation. Anthony Cobbs, I'm not high on the AEW women's division. I think that's one of their problems. Too many damn tag teams, and too many damn tag teams, and the women's division. I didn't know they had that many tag teams in the AEW women's division like that. I didn't know it was like really that many tag teams. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, WWE can't even get their women's tag team division together. I mean, you just got two unofficial tag team wrestlers, singles competitors with tag team belts, which is fine, which always happens, which does happen often. But they have so many single competitors, being treated as jobbers, like just floating around, fighting these odd tag matches. So like they can't even get it together. But on Tessa Blanchard, so apparently Tessa Blanchard has been turned down by AEW. So AEW is not interested in Tessa. It's a cold year for Tessa Blanchard. It's real cold, real icy in AEW town. Anthony Cobb says none of them no. The men have many damn tag teams. Well, that's the men's division, but the women's, But Tessa Blanchard has been turned down. We will not have a appearance of Tessa Blanchard in any major wrestling promotion because the only majors right now is WWE, AEW, and Impact. So she left Impact. She burned her bridge with Impact, and I don't think she wants to go back there. I think Tessa Blanchard is looking to go up. So the only two moves is AEW or WWE. And I heard WWE was in talks And I guess that fell through the cracks because AEW is not interested in her. So apparently there have been some talks on Tessa Blanchard possibly joining AEW, but that's not going to happen. I have one more article. Anthony Cobbs. Who the hell is Tessa Blanchard anyway? Is she Terry Blanchard's daughter? Yes, she is. No, Terry. Yes, Tully Blanchard. Yes, Tully Blanchard's daughter. Tully Blanchard, the former member of the Four Horsemen, one of the original Four Horsemen.
It was Terry Blanchard. It was Tully.
I think it's Terry. I think they call him. I think his name is Terry, but he was called Tully Blanchard.
Okay.
Tully. I think his name was Terry. I think his real name is Terry.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's actually his daughter. That's really his daughter. They got the same big head and everything. They really. She's fine, but she got a big head. Yeah. One more article I found very interesting. So apparently Sting did a podcast and he voiced his displeasure with WWE and talked about why he left WWE and why he's at AEW. So apparently they promised Sting high profile matches, that he was going to be treated as a big deal when he got to WWE. But he said once he got there, those things fell through the cracks, especially with his two matches, one with Triple H and Seth. And at first he was like, it seemed fine, but then it was just like things weren't panning out the way he was expecting it. And of course, if you say big deal, if you're going to be treated like a big deal, he did get a high profile match because he fought Triple H. He did get a high profile match because he fought the WWE champion Seth Rollins. So he was treated like a big deal. Like you coming out of nowhere and you get a title match, like that's a big deal.
I personally feel he should at least got one WWE win. Not the two matches he had end up being L's. And I'm sure, if he didn't get hurt, he would have gotten a big match. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. And yeah, exactly, Anthony Cobbs. Yeah, I heard they turned down the cinematic match he wanted with Taker. Yep, and that was the third one. That was, I don't think I named two. I think I named one situation. But yeah, that was one of the other things. And they shot down, the match with Undertaker. So that's the reason why Sting is in AEW. He feels like he's over there to now boost the talent, make, help the talent become, greater and try to contribute as much as he can before he officially retires. Didn't they force him into retirement?
Well, once he had a neck injury, they weren't clear him to wrestle. I think towards the end, I think he was seeing other specialists and he was sort of clear, but I don't think WWE wanted to take the risk on him fighting again. But yeah, he wasn't clear which forced him to retire.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like as far as Sting right now, So I don't know, man. Sting right now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Sting, it's just like if he ain't doing it in WWE, then he just kind of just need to. He could do what he's doing in AEW, and like there's like this rumor going around like that he's supposed to be gearing up to fight Jericho and going to this whole feud with Jericho.
Hogan wants to have another match. Why don't AEW just bring in Hogan too, and they can just Hogan have his retiring match there or something? I don't know.
Anthony Cobbs, how much can a 61-year-old man do in the ring?
Very true.
Well, if you count Ric Flair, who retired in WWE had a glorious retirement, then to only turn around and wrestle in Impact Wrestling. He messed up his whole retirement, goes back, and wrestles in Impact. And, so it's just like, but he wrestled, Ric Flair did what he could. WCW all over again, a main event with a 50-year-old versus a 61-year-old.
Yes, I think I just sent you a graphic too.
Okay.
With AEW, to be looking at that.
You sent me a graphic. All right, let me post it up real quick before we.
I found it in one of the groups where I found it very, very interesting and funny as well. I don't remember whether I do apologize. I want to give y'all credit for the group I found it in, but I don't remember the group. But I found it very, very funny.
Is it the one you sent me earlier?
No, just now, a few minutes ago.
Okay. Do you want to do the one you sent me earlier, or you want to leave it?
We can do that one. Everybody opinion on it.
Okay. All right. Let me just pull it up. Hold on a second. Okay, so you sent me two graphics.
Well, not the Sasha Banks one. The one with AEW.
Okay. All right. Let me pull it up. That's funny. All right. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm trying to blow it up. I don't know if you guys can see it.
But yeah, that for me, it pretty much sums it up and names everything that what's going on with AEW right now. You got Total, TNA, AEW, WCW, wrestling. No, was it World Wrestling?
All right, Total, Nonstop, All Elite, TNA, AEW, CW, World Championship. Oh man, yeah, we're definitely getting those kind of vibes. Absolutely, like we're definitely getting those kind of vibes from AEW. You can see it. Anthony Cobbs. There were also rumors they were going to use Sting as a manager. They want him to manage the TNA champion, the kid named Darby.
Oh, Darby Allin. For me, I only reason I don't want to see that would be because it would kind of give me that same vibe with Arn Anderson managing Cody Rhodes, because it's like, okay, you keep having these big WCW stars managing, the younger talent, even though Cody Rhodes isn't a younger talent, but it's going to get that same kind of vibe. So I mean, I wouldn't want to see that. I could see maybe a mentor, and even with I forgot his name, and when he was trying to mentor the Perfect 10, what the hell is his name?
Shawn Spears.
Yeah, Shawn Spears, right. So I mean, like these legends trying to mentor these younger guys, it's kind of getting redundant, and then, like I said, if Sting comes to manage Darby Allin, I'm like, okay, here we go again. So
yeah, it got to make sense,
right?
Like if Sting came to manage Jeff Hardy, fire. If like Arn Anderson coming to manage Cody Rhodes, fire. That made so much sense because the history that Dusty Rhodes had with Ric Flair, and Dusty Rhodes actually mentored Ric Flair. And if it wasn't for Dusty Rhodes, we wouldn't have a Ric Flair, because Ric Flair patterned his character after Dusty Rhodes. So Arn Anderson being a part of the Four Horsemen, and Dusty Rhodes being Cody Rhodes' father, and those two now pairing together for a wrestling management team, perfect. Fire makes sense. Like when I seen them pair together, I was like, this is perfect. But it got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like if an older wrestler is being paired, like Triple H and Ric Flair was perfect because Triple H, before Triple H went into the whole evolution gimmick, Triple H was like our new age Ric Flair. He was like this, but in my opinion, better. In my opinion, slightly better. You know what I'm saying? Because of just he's blasphemy. You mean blasphemy? They got here. My wife is saying blasphemy because I said that Triple H was slightly better than Ric Flair. But that's my opinion. If you don't agree,
I mean, I agree. In ring ability, I think Triple H is better. Now, outside the ring, Ric Flair was smashing everybody and their mama. I don't think Triple H was at that level. But but as far as like in ring ability and things like that, I think because again, Ric Flair was kind of like you said, a basic old man. I mean, and no disrespect, Rick, because you're one of the greatest, but Rick didn't really do much. Rick was basically a chop. Or you throw him to the turmoil. He'll sell your move, but as far as like his offensive flurry, he wasn't really going to give you that.
Right. Totally agree with you. Anthony Cobb says the Arn Anderson with the NFL clipboard. That is a awful gimmick. That is an awful gimmick. I didn't see it, but I don't know, man. I got to check it out. Anthony Cobb says, "Can you imagine Triple H being the manager of Bobby Roode?" See, like that make like perfect. Like that's a perfect matchup. Like
it's like I said, certain people I liked together, but I feel like it's time to branch them off to do other things. Bobby Roode, Robert Roode or Bobby Roode? Mr. Roode, Mr. And
Bobby.
At this point, they need to break up. They need to just split. Miz and Person need to split. Nia need to split because it's starting to get real boring and tired, and certain characters are starting to lose, themselves with being just with the other person. Like I feel like they need revamp of their characters. Not really revamp, but they just need to be a fresh start. And like I said, Roode needs to definitely split. Now, Triple H, being the guy who kind of talks some sense to Roode and Roode turning on Dolph and, being his own man again, that would be great.
Totally agree with you. The women's division needs a kick in the butt because of the factor of my camera's frozen. Because the factor of the women's division definitely needs a kick in the butt because of like we need somebody like Shayna Baszler who can come in and just like we need somebody that's gonna come in, dominate, show a strong appearance, and shake things up. You know what I'm saying? Like we need a strong heel now. We need a very strong heel, and I think Shayna Baszler is the one that can deliver that. And they can make another hero out of Asuka. Keep Asuka. I like Asuka as the women's champion. I wouldn't change it. But we need a strong heel. We need to shake things up and make it a little bit more spicy. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Jay. Let me see if let me pull this. Okay, all right. So this is a post that Jay seen seen Jobbers in Tears. If you guys have not joined the Jobbers in Tears page, I recommend you guys join it. It is a page that is administered, does sports podcasts. He does wrestling podcasts. You guys can check him out on Facebook. Sorry, it's having a little technical difficulties right now. Trying to look up.
Shout out to Big Baby. He's gonna be on the show tomorrow. I'm gonna reach out to him again, but he's supposed to be on the show tomorrow, and he'll definitely big up. He's one of the founders of the Your Sports Group. So yeah, shout out to Big Baby. One of my close friends. So yeah, we're gonna definitely try to have him on the show tomorrow. And but yeah, like this, but I did see this post in his group.
Yes. All right. So okay, cool. So I'm gonna put this up real quick, and after I drop this, we're gonna end up the show. This was a very interesting post I seen in the group. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I thought it was very interesting. I don't know if you guys can see the graphic. I'm going to expand it out more. I think this will raise a lot of great conversation. Um, Very interesting. All right. So this is a pick your contract, company contract. So you have four sections. You have company, you have contract, you have perks, and you have downside. Sign with WWE for 30 million, and the perks guaranteed WrestleMania main event spot. The downside: no creative control, no third party affiliations. Okay. Second line: sign with All Elite Wrestling, get $50 million. You get a classic feud with Kenny Omega. But the downside is once the feud is over, you'll be a jobber on AEW Dark. Third line, Ring of Honor, with you get a $5 million contract. You become the face of the company, but it's a lifetime contract. Signed with Impact Wrestling, you receive 12 million. You could work with multiple promotions. However, you can't sign with WWE or AEW once contract expires. Damn. So even after the contract, you can't sign with them. That sucks. House of Glory Wrestling, the last line, received 2 million. Uh, get 10% stake in the company. Okay, and you can't win the World Heavyweight Championship. What you going for, Jay?
I'm sorry. I'm going for WWE. You know, right now they're the juggernauts. They're the coup de grace, the head above water. And I mean, end of the day, hell, everybody wants to have a main event spot. Hell, CM Punk ended up leaving the company because he didn't get a main event spot. So I think you having your main event moment, I mean your WrestleMania moment trumps any other thing that would happen. And no creative control. Hell, nobody has creative control over their character, so it's new and no third party affiliations. That's perfectly fine because with AEW, you get your match with Kenny Omega, but then you become a jobber after that. Yeah, it's kind of messed up, So
okay, Anthony Cobbs, he's going with Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Wow, Ant. So Ant will become the face of the company for $5 million, but it's a lifetime contract. Lifetime. You can't break that contract. They have your soul, Ant.
And also remember, you're going to be airing at 2:00 in the morning, with barely nobody. So only hardcore wrestling fans are going to see, or somebody up at night flicking through channels like, oh, wrestling. Let me see what this is about.
Right. And while all of the Kevin Owens and CM Punks and Daniel Bryans and Adam Coles and Cody Rhodes come into the company and they bring all their fans with them and leave, you're going to be stuck there like Jay Lethal. I'm just saying, we just say it, man. We just say Anthony Khan's ECW used to air at 2 a.m.
Yeah, but like 12. Well, it might have been 2. It might have been 2.
Might have been 2. But see, the thing about it was that when ECW aired at 2 o'clock, we were trying to watch ECW because it was nothing like ECW. You had WCW, you had WWE, but you had ECW, which was hardcore. So we thought, there was a little bit extreme. There was a more extremity to it. You seen blood, and it was just like, uncensored, unfiltered. And WWE and WCW wasn't giving you that. So that was like their niche. That's why, ECW prospered. That's where they actually really prospered. I'm okay with being the Jay Lethal of the company. and it's cool with that. I would definitely have to go with WWE. But Jay, I have to say this though, real quick. It says a main event, it said it says a guaranteed WrestleMania main event spot.
That's the main event. That's a WrestleMania moment for me.
So right, it's the WrestleMania moment because remember, see, because the thing about CM Punk, he wasn't in the main event, but he had a main event spot because he had a world title and he fought Jericho.
He even fought Undertaker.
Right, he fought Undertaker.
Yeah, he's had main event spots, and that's perfectly fine.
He ended WrestleMania with Undertaker.
No, they didn't end it. I forgot who ended who was the main event for that, but he was one of the main events.
Right.
It's Cena Rock, matter of fact. Was it Cena Rock? Maybe.
I think it was Cena Rock. I think so. But yeah, but CM Punk had main event spots.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but he was never
in the show.
Yeah, right. He never ended the show. Right. Absolutely, he never ended the show. Which I definitely understand his frustration. He had a legitimate argument. I can't even argue with him. He was absolutely right about his frustration. I can work with Ethan Wick says I can work with AAA and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Ethan, which contract would you take? Would you take the WWE contract, the AEW contract, the Ring of Honor contract, the Impact contract, or the House of Glory contract? Anthony Cobbs, he says that moment might not go as well as you think and might turn out to be a Brock versus Goldberg Mania main event. It might, that wasn't a bad match.
Still about it. Even now, the only reason that spot didn't go as well because word got out that they were both leaving. So
right, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, so if the fans didn't get word that they were leaving, that match would have been a little better. And then just like once the fans kind of was tuned out of it, Goldberg admitted he was like he wasn't really fully committed. So
right, I'm still waiting for Ethan Wick. Ethan Wick, let us know what contract would you take? The WrestleMania, the WWE, the AEW, the Ring of Honor, the Impact, or the House of Glory? I think. And I'm sorry, I'm about to read. Andy Cobb says, I think Ethan is going with TNA contract so he could work with other companies. Ethan Wick says, Impact for me. Interesting. So don't want a chance. WWE turning me into that sweet fraction of Billy Gunn and Chuck Colombo. Wow. Tag team. Anthony Cobbs, laugh my ass off. At Ethan, don't forget Rico. Rico. So all right. So Anthony, I'm sorry, Ethan. So you're cool with $12 million. You can work with multiple wrestling promotions, but you cannot sign with WWE or AEW once the contract expires. So when your contract is up with Impact, you can't even sign with nobody else. You got to come right back. So Impact wants your soul and Ring of Honor wants your soul. Is this what we're talking about here? So they want you to sign in blood, man. These are blood contracts. I can't do this, man. I can't. My soul is not for sale. I can't. I'm saying they're blood contracts because you just can't go anywhere else. You can't go anywhere else. All right. Anthony Cobb says this. All right, we got to close because we almost 30 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. Anthony Cobb says he will retire a TNA legend. Name a TNA legend that's better than a WWE legend. But I mean, he can. I mean, in a world of wrestling, you'll be well respected. So, Ethan Wick says New Japan Pro. New Japan Pro, yes, prestigious. Okay. New Japan Pro, right? Okay. Anthony Cobbs, and I'll be the Jay Lethal of the independent scene. Ethan Wick, I can go to New Japan and AAA after. All right, let me tell you about AAA real quick, Ethan. You may know this. You may not. You may know this. You may not know this. I'm not sure if you do, but I'm just throw it out there just for like conversation's sake, real quick. Even though we need to end this, but apparently the AEW the AAA stars don't get paid that much. They were not getting paid that much. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was actually Johnny. It was John Morrison, who was one of the wrestlers that voiced his frustrations about wrestling at AAA, saying that these guys were getting paid like $500 a match, and like they weren't really getting paid next to anything. Like not next to anything, but they weren't making good money. Like you can make some decent money in Impact. You can make some decent money and some great money in AEW. But AEW, one thing about AEW is that they're only putting people on contract who they feel, they can really build a company with. Other than that, you just coming through to have like a quick match and then a test run, and then if you pan out to the way they see that you build. But anyway, AAA apparently, they were like they had their wrestlers working like slaves over there, man. So and anyway, we need to end the show because we're gonna be in here for another 30 minutes. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I enjoyed having these discussions with you guys, talking wrestling. If you guys have the chance, please like, subscribe, share. Definitely share with your wrestling buddies so that they can see Wrestling Talks and Thoughts, so they can join us on. They can come in, crack some jokes, share their thoughts, share their opinions, so we can hear from them. Let them know we want to hear from the wrestling world. We want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you guys think. This is an open forum. We definitely want to talk to you guys. Me and Jay McMahon will be going live tomorrow with Big Baby. We'll be posting and sharing out the stream post in the group chats. So, and you can also like Wrestling Talks and Thoughts page and Wrestling Talks and Thoughts group, so that you can see the next time we go live as well. We'll be posting up on the group to let you guys know when, but we'll be going live tomorrow with Jay McMahon, and we have a special guest, Big Baby from Jobbers and Tears, right? Oh no, your Jobbers and Tears, right?
Your Jobbers and Tears and your sports group is also
your sports group, right? So if you guys get the chance, check out Big Baby, your sports group, and Jobbers and Tears. We will be going live with him tomorrow, so we can talk some more wrestling, get this conversation going, and we'll be talking about Raw, Monday Night Raw, and if there's any news and rumors, anything hot that has come out for conversation's sake to come out, we'll bring it up. Also, we'll be doing another rating, so we don't know what rating list we're going to do. But me and Jay McMahon will be discussing that. The next rating list we'll do, so you guys can join us, so we can do that as well. But yes, thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next time. I am your host, Saheem the Dream.
And your boy, Undisputed Jay McMahon.
Undisputed Jay McMahon and Saheem the Dream. We are out. See you guys later.